Okay, so this is our last lesson over similarity this semester, and it's short and sweet, and it is the easiest of all. So we're doing proportionality theorems. So what proportionality relationship exists in a triangle intersected by an angle bisector or by a line parallel to one of the sides? So we're going to use triangle proportionality theorem, the converse, and a couple of other theorems as well. So first thing says that if a line parallel to one side of a triangle, so see how this is parallel to this, if it intersects the other two sides, so see how it's intersecting. All right, so we got two parallel sides, then it divides the sides proportionately. So if TU is parallel to QS, then RT over TQ is equal to RU over US. And the way I like to look at it is divide these into sections. You've got section A, B, C, and D. If you'll notice, it's already set up for you. If you think of the extension of the side as fraction bars, you get A over B equals D over C. Okay, the converse simply says if the sides are proportional, so RT over TQ, RU over US, if they are equal, then TU is parallel to QS. So the conditional and the converse are both true, so this is a biconditional statement. So let's put it to use. So like I said before, make sure you're reading your directions first. Find the length of AB. So AB is this piece here, and I'm looking for that. So that becomes my X. If you extend the sides, you'll notice that it's already set up for you. 5 over 10 is equal to X over 6. Cross multiply, 10X equals 30. So X is 3. Okay, same thing over here. If you extend the sides a little bit, we're looking for AB, so that's my X. I get 2 over 9 equal to X over 7. Oops, X, sorry. So cross multiply, 9X equals 14. So X is 14 over 9. And you can just leave it as a fraction. There's no need to get the decimal. Now, if I want you to determine if these two are parallel, again, you just extend those sides and you set it up. 3 over 4 is equal to 4 over 5. Cross multiply, 15 equals 16. These are not equal, so AB is not parallel to XY. Same thing over here. Extend those sides a little bit. So we've got 6 over 4, 7.5 over 5. Cross multiply is 30. Cross multiply is 30. That is equal, so AB is parallel to XY. So I'm going to put my marks on my picture. All right, our next theorem states that if there are three parallel lines, and they intersect two transversals, so transversal L and transversal M, then they divide the transversals proportionately. So UW in VX, YW, and XC. So you've got four little pieces, and they're all cut proportionately. All right. Now, there's other ways to set it up. We could have done UW over VX. So UW over VX equals WY over XC. That could also still be, because if you'll notice, you're still multiplying the same pieces, because these two didn't change, just these two did, but yet they're still being multiplied. All right, so let's put it to use. All right, UV and UW. So UV and UW. Then I have xy. So since I have two little pieces and one big piece, I'm missing a big piece. So I'm missing xz. So I have two little and two big. This one is xy, so xy and yz. Then I have vw. So the corresponding missing piece would be uv. So you have four little pieces. So here I had two littles and two big. Here I have four little pieces. And then the next thing is zy. So zy, I'm going to erase this so I can get a new color in here. Okay, so zy would be this piece here. And then I got WU. WU is the big piece, and WV is this piece. So I have these two corresponding small pieces, so the corresponding big piece would be XC. So there's multiple ways to set up your proportionality as long as it's consistent. So if angle 1, 2, and 3 are all congruent, so they're corresponding, so these are corresponding angles. And since corresponding angles are congruent, that means these are parallel lines. Since these are parallel lines, these are transversals. It says that GF is 120, DE is 150, and CD is 300. And it wants me to find HF, which is this whole distance here. I want to know this distance. Well, since I know this piece, and this piece, if I find this one, then I can just add them together to get the whole piece. So if you think about it, you've got 120 over x equals to 150 over 300. So if you cross multiply, you get 150x equals 36,000. Divide by 150, so x is 240. So this little piece right here is 240. Well, the whole thing is 120 plus 240. So that would be 360. So that means that HF is 360 yards. So I used a proportion of 4 small pieces. And our very last one says a triangle angle bisector theorem. So please make sure you're listening to what I am saying. If you have an angle bisector, it cuts the angle in half. It does not cut the triangle in half. So make sure you make note of this. It does not bisect the triangle. It does not bisect the triangle. So what you have are these pieces. So it says AD, so this piece over DB, this piece, is equal to this piece over this piece. I like to look at it as this. So let's call this W, X, Y, and Z. I like to look at it like this. If I do little fraction bars like this, and even like this is still the same thing. I can do W over X equals Z over Y. So there's one way to set it up. Or I can do it W over X, this over this, equals Z over Y. Z over Y. If you notice, you're still multiplying the same two pieces together. Nothing changed. I guess what I was trying to say is W over Z is the way they have it. W over Z, X over Y, because they're using this as the fraction bar. So W over Z equals X over Y. So again, you're still multiplying the same two pieces. So there's a couple of different ways you can set it up. So let's look at, I see this. I see that I have an angle bisector because this is splitting it in half. So if I were to put two little lines right here, it's already set up for me. 9 over x equals 15 over 5. Cross multiply, 15x equals 45. So x is 3. So that means this piece is 3. So you can see that even though this is bisecting the angle, 3 and 5 are not equal, so this is not a bisector. It is only an angle bisector. So it's only cutting the angle in half. Angle bisector. Okay, same thing goes over here. So if I were to split this piece up, so if I did my little fraction bars, and I did 675 over, I need this piece right here because this is what's going. All right, remember this is an angle bisector, not a side bisector, so it's not cutting 14 in half. So this is not 7 and 7. This side over here is going to be 9 over b though, so 9 over b. So let me just jump ahead for just a second. I want you to think about this so I can explain this to you. If I have this segment right here, and I say from here to here, and then I go here to here, and that looks too much like a bisector. Let me shorten this piece and lengthen this piece. Oops, that's not cooperating with me. There we go. All right. So if I said that the whole thing from here to here, the whole thing is 18, and I say that the blue part is 12, how are we going to go about finding the red piece? Well, we know that the whole thing is 18, and if I come inward, then I'm going to be subtracting 12, so that would leave me with 6. So that would mean that the red piece would be 6. Now, if I did not tell you the numbers, so let me go in here and let me just erase this. And I just said, okay, the whole thing is 18 and this piece is x. What is the length of the red piece? Well, remember a while ago, we took the 18 and we subtracted the 12 because that's what the length of that was. So in order to get this piece, I had to subtract the blue piece from it. So this piece would be 18 minus x. So this piece right here is 18 minus x because I have to subtract that. So if we think back now, if the whole thing is 14 and this little piece right here is b, then this piece is 14 minus b. So this would be 14 minus b. Because these two pieces together, this little piece and this little piece here, have to add up to 14. So let's cross multiply. If we need to go over that more when I see you in class, we will. 14 times 9, 9 times b. So now I'm going to add 9b to both sides. So if I add 9b to both sides, I get 15.75b equals 126, and then divide by 1575, so b is 8. So that means this piece is 8. So if this piece is 8, 14 minus 8 is 6. And that's all for today. So I will see you guys next time. Good luck on your assignment.